Welcome. Thank you for joining. I am Denise, and today, as you probably can see with my potting top, we are going to repot some plants, and I have a unboxing from Steve Leaves. I did manage to order one plant when Steve Leaves had their last plant restock, so I'm excited about that. This is going to be the first thing we are going to do, and we're also going to talk about plant care myth. I posted earlier today on my Instagram stories and I asked you guys if you want to send in your plant care myth. So I'm going to look at them and we are going to talk about them, because me repotting and unboxing my Steve Leaves plant is probably one of the biggest plant myths, in my opinion, that you have heard, or I have heard. What do I mean by that? We will find out. I guess we are starting with unboxing. That's the box. It's not a big one. So this is not my first plant that I ever purchased from Steve Leaves. That might be the third order I ever received. I ordered my Burmax Fantasy. I'm gonna insert a picture right now. Is from Steve Leaves. And I think my philodendron brandy is from Steve Leaves. Wrapped by Camille, boxed by Dylan. Thank you, Camille and Dylan. I paid, if I remember correctly, because this one does not have the amount that I spent. I think that was $50. That is a full plant. So here we have it. So this is the Syngonium Podophyllum Albo Variegatum Marble. So basically a variegated Syngonium, the white one. And that's the only Syngonium I own. I've never owned a Syngonium before. I did purchase two to put in a giveaway once, but I never really cared for Syngoniums until I purchased the two for the giveaway, and then I thought, I really want one now. This is a cute plant. It is fuller than I expected, which means it has more leaves than I thought it would, but the leaves are smaller than I expected. But I don't care. It's a beautiful plant. The variegation is gorgeous and I'm excited. It's a full plant. It's a full lush plant. So I think, if I remember correctly, $50 US, and I think shipping was a lot. I can't remember, but I think shipping was like $20 or something. I might be lying. I need to check that. Most nurseries do care to add, their instructions in them. They don't have any. Usually what you're supposed to do is, check if the soil is dry or wet. So let's do that. I'm going to open this up. And then keep your new plant in a bright spot, but not too bright, like with indirect light, to not shock it, because it came out of a dark pitch black box. To have it adjust, and the favorite word of plants people actually made, to your home and your environment. You should not remove the plant from the nursery pot to stress out the roots. Then basically water it. If it's super dry, I have water right here, so there's still water. If I touch the soil, it's not wet, but it's also not dry. We have roots peeking out down here too. That's like the basic plant care instructions. Wait for like 7 to 14 days before repotting it, letting it acclimate. Don't put it in too bright light to shock it. Make sure you don't water it right away. And I call that bullshit. So what I do if I receive a plant is, I'm gonna open that shit up. I'm gonna remove it from the nursery pot. I need to look at the roots. Why is this? This is like the most important thing. Of course, the leaves are beautiful. It looks like a healthy plant, but I want to see what this is. Like, this is my most important thing. I want to look at this. So not removing the plant from the nursery pot and open up the soil to look at the roots, for me, I call BS on that one big time. And especially to not do that for 10 to 14 days, hell no. Did you know that most plant nurseries refund policy is for 7 to 14 days, but then they also recommend for you to not remove the plant from its nursery pot for 7 to 14 days. How do you know if the plant has root rot or not if you don't check it? How are you gonna get a refund? How are you gonna send proof pictures? Especially, that's $50. That might not be a lot for many people, but for me, that's a lot of money. I want to know if I got something for my $50 or if this is that or not. So I receive the plant, I open it, I take a look at the leaves, cute. The nursery pot has to go. I need to look at the roots, I have to take a look at the roots. And if it arrives with root rot, then you can cut the roots, start propagating it in water or whatever your propagation method is that works for you the best. Otherwise, you would have it in the nursery pot, and then in 5 days, you would be like, oh, okay, now it's dry, now it's time to water, and you're gonna promote more root rot. 10 to 14 days, when the leaves start browning and yellowing and blacking and dying because of root rot, you're gonna finally be, oh, now it's time to repot. Remove the nursery pot and it's gonna have rot, and you're gonna take a picture and send it to the nursery, and they say, why are you telling us that now 14 days later? That's like too late. But then at the same time, they recommend you to not remove the nursery pot or from the plant to check the soil. Like the roots is like the most, and the stems, like the most important stuff, you check. Like why would you check for that 14 days later? It doesn't make any sense. Is it now going to die because I did this? I don't think so. If this is the cause that this plant is gonna die, then there's something like really wrong with this plant. It has nothing to do with it. That is my absolute biggest plant care myth. Not to check for the roots when you receive a brand new plant that you purchased. I'm going to loosen up the soil, and it has nice roots. I think that it's also too small of a pot, and there is like 2-3 inches on the top. It just doesn't have enough soil anyways. So even if I looked at it, I'm like, this is not enough soil for this plant to be hanging out for the next 2 weeks anyways. So yeah, I'm going to loosen it up, and it's going to get a pot. So I need to get a pot now. For it, I'm going to give it a nice airy soil mixture, because this is for my watering habits. This is soil just equals that for the Syngonium. I water my plants every 2 to 3 days. It will get root rot because it has perlite in it, but in my opinion it has 2% perlite and the rest is soil, and I need at least 50-50. I'm gonna water it every 2 to 3 days. The soil cannot hold any water. I think that this one is a good size for the Syngonium. Yes. Yeah. So here I'm using these lawn and garden mesh pads, and there are like different ways that you can protect your drainage hole, the soil from coming out and insects crawling in. People use like old coffee or tea bags, but these are very affordable. They come in 50 pack, and I think it's $5. So, and then usually you don't even need the whole one, you can just cut them. I just need 1/4 of it for this pot, so they're gonna last me forever. I will have a link in the description for you guys if you want to check them out. Like I said, I hardly use any soil. I don't even have any soil here at the moment, and I basically don't care. I'm going to use that little soil that it came with. I'm going to add it with charcoal and perlite, and then that's it. That's all I need. I don't see anything in here. I don't see a slow release fertilizer here. I'm just gonna grab a handful of charcoal. This is horticultural charcoal. I use the Hoffman and then I use Unigrow as well. I can link one of them in the description for you. And then I have perlite. Oh, the perlite has a little bit of orchid bark mixed in it. Probably leftovers. Do I want to add? Yeah, I definitely need to add a stick. I am back with Miracle Grow Shake and Feed. I found this one, but now I see that this is not going to fit in the pot. I'm out of Velcro, so I'm using Ute because this is what I have right now. So this is what I ask. What are your favorite plant care myths? I start, and then I added neglect your cactus and it will thrive. And then ask your questions, and then blooms and plants also. Succulents are easy, and life's better green also said the biggest plant care myth: succulents are easy, just ignore them. Not. So it seems like succulents seems to be a plant that needs a lot of care. I would know. I don't have any anymore. I did had some in 2019 and I made that cute succulent garden video and I put them on the balcony and they are no longer with me. Note and leave that Hoya don't like humidity, mine love it. That is something I even did a video when I did my Hoya collection video, because I keep my Hoyas right next to my Aroids. Hoyas are tropical plants. You know, they come from like amazing places, usually where humid is very high, so they love humidity. You can put them right next to your humidifier and they will have a blast. So that's definitely a plant care myth, for sure. My dad used to pee on the garden. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. My dad used to pee on the garden every night. Shit was thriving. So I don't know, is that supposed to be a myth? Shit was thriving. So is that, I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna see if she's going to answer. Girl, your dad did what? Question mark. She probably doesn't want to put her dad on blast. But that is a funny one. Okay, so we are done almost. I'm gonna add some more charcoal on the top of the soil, and then I'm gonna add some shake and feed. You can mix it into your soil and you can put it on top. And I'm going to attach it here on the top. That is finished. Oh, did you know the danger of perlite? Should I inform you guys about the danger of perlite? Repotting this Monstera dubia because there's something awfully wrong with the pot, and we have already root coming down here, but it doesn't stand. Like, you see that? It annoys me and it constantly like falls down, and I need to have it attached to a bigger pole or to a bigger piece of wood because I'm tired of these runners. Oh, the soil smells so good. Oh, that smells like rich, nice, moist soil. Oh, if you could smell that. If you could smell that, it smells so freaking good. Oh my god. That is like, they should make a perfume that smells like this. I still have a mesh, which it's probably, I'm gonna put it in a giant pot. Talking about using a too big pot. Here I am. Me, welcome to my world of being a messy potter. Oh, the danger of perlite. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen I have dedicated soil posts where I talk basically about almost every kind of soil medium that you can have, and I also did one of perlite. And when I did my research, I'm going on the internet trying to find out everything about different soil types that you can use. I stumbled across many articles about the danger of perlite. So I have my post here, and basically, so perlite is a volcanic glass. That already says a lot, right? And it has many benefits, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't use it. But it also has like a very scary fact. And it holds water and nutrients, but still allows excess water to drain. That's why we use it if you want to add more drainage into our soil mixture to help air circulation and to help and prevent root rot, right? 98% of the oxygen that a plant absorbs is taken up through the roots. Aeration and air circulation is super important. That's why we always talk about it. Always add some extra medium into your soil so you can create that aeration for the root. The OSHA considers perlite to be a nuisance dust. Inhalation of high amounts over a long period of time may overload and makes the lungs more vulnerable to respiratory diseases. Guys, that is like some serious shit. Basically, it can cause lung cancer if you want to say it out loud that way. I am not going to remove it from this one because it's attached nicely. Just gonna add it in here. Charcoal. I'm done with the perlite. I'm gonna close it because I'm gonna press it like hard against the wood so it really thinks like, oh my god, right? We have something to climb on, you sucker. Like, stop putting out runners. Looks kind of ugly on the top. Let me clean up and I will be back. What are your favorite plant myths? Greenery Goddess, she did get back to me and said it is okay to mention her. She's the one who sent in my dad used to pee in the garden every night and shit was thriving. So I did ask her about it and she said it worked. And her dad is actually a farmer. He had a coconut farm. And she said something about uric acid, so we are going to check that out. And we are finding here from the HuffPost, recent scientific studies have shown urine is a safe and very effective fertilizer for cabbage, beets, cucumbers, I love cucumbers, and tomatoes, and pretty much anything else you want to grow. So if you are broke and you don't have fertilizer, now you know you are the baddest fertilizer for your plants and help them thriving. So if you want to help them grow some healthy, gorgeous leaves, you better take a pee on them. That is. If you have found this video to be fun, informative, or of some sorts of value, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I am planning more awesome videos. I am also planning on doing an updated soil video. It's going to be like we talked about the perlite earlier in the video. It's going to be dedicated video about soil medium. So we're going to take a closer look at perlite, we're going to take a closer look at charcoal, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of orchid bark, of tree fern, of volcanic pumice, and all the other soil mediums like sphagnum moss. There's going to be so much value in that video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and I see you in the next video. Bye guys. Just take a pee.